So today I'll be doing a video discussing the secret king of the dark continent and why there is somebody who is already there that you do not know about. Now, we know that the dark continent, it is a place where everybody is trying to rule over because it is an unexplored place and it has a lot of things that it can offer if you can get past all of the deadly killer animals that are there. We know that beyond Netero, he wants to finally colonize the dark continent. In fact, they had to lock him away because he was so eager to go on it and nobody else was ready but him. Obviously, we know he's the son of Netero, so he better be able to hold his own in the dark continent. In fact, he actually did convince a king of one of the 5 great nations to fund his exploration. So we know that the king of Kaken and beyond Netero, they are excited to go over there and they want to colonize that greatness. But speaking of the king of Kaken, we know that the princes of Kaken, they are having a death battle to see who will rule over the dark continent, because a lot of people, they think that the king, he's just going to go over there for supervision. Obviously, he won his succession war between his siblings, so he has to watch over the next one between the princes. So they think that once the princes decide who will be the king, that's when he'll end up going back to his nation. But I low-key think that the king, he may end up betraying them, but that's either here or there. But we see that the princes, they are all willing to kill each other over the king of the dark continent, over that title. So that just goes to show you how much they're fighting for it. And I also believe that Jing is a potential candidate for someone who wants to colonize it, because number one, he's related to the man, the only man who we know of that is there, Don Freaks. So that is already a huge thing. And the fact that Jing knows about him is very spooky. And we also know that Jing, he's known for his discoveries. He's one of the few rare hunters who actually does make a lot of discoveries in the world and is actually famous for it. And also, we know that he stopped Parison for taking over the Hunter Association. But not only that, he even took over Parison's little mini group that he had full of specialists. So that just goes to show you that Jing, he's doing whatever he can to make sure that he has all the power when he's going into the dark continent. But I do believe there is somebody who we don't know about that is on the dark continent, and I believe that that man is Gyro. Yes, I believe that Gyro, the founder and the king of the NGL, is on the dark continent. And we know that he grew up in a construction camp. He grew up in harsh environments. He was very poor. So it is very similar to the dark continent to a lesser degree, obviously, because there was a giant S-class monster trying to kill you. But it goes to show you that he grew up in very harsh environment. His dad used to beat him all the time. Like, he didn't have a good childhood growing up. It's safe to say that. And we also do know that Gyro, he was in the same town as Gon and Killua. They mentioned that in the manga after they met Pitou, but they didn't meet. And I think that they did that to highlight that Gyro, he is an important character. If you guys are anime only, then you guys wouldn't have seen that. But in the manga, they actually did highlight that Gyro and Gon, they were in the same town at the same time. Some people call it fate of them actually being in the same place at the same time. But speaking of Pitou, we know that he did turn into a Chimera ant, and yo, he was one of the only few Chimera ants, I believe the only one besides Meruem, to really ignore the Queen's order. We know that he left the NGL hive after becoming a Chimera ant, a mythical beast Chimera ant at that. So that just goes to show you that there's something like a Yuppie walking around that we haven't even been revealed to. And it is strongly hinted that Gyro, he is trying to rebuild his empire, because yo, Gyro, he's one of the few people that didn't lose his memory when he did become a Chimera ant. So obviously he would want to rebuild his empire after losing it all. And now that he's a mythical beast Chimera ant, he definitely does have the power to do that. And what better place would it be to do that than the dark continent? Because we seen that Gyro, he was a great king. We saw that his subordinates were willing to die for him. Welfin, Ikalgo, all those guys, they stood up in front of Meruem, the strongest person in the verse, and were just like, fuck you, we're not going to deal with you. So that goes to show you that Gyro, he is a great ruler. And it makes sense with the whole Chimera ant themed dark continent, because I'm one of the people who believe that it will do a full circle back into the dark continent with the Chimera ants, because the fact that they stated that that's where they originate from goes to show you that they will be introducing more Chimera ants. And with Gyro being a mythical beast Chimera ant, this just goes to show you that he can already be on the dark continent as a king trying to rebuild his empire. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.